Take a shot.
I need one.
So, well, here's the thing. Um, this is a tale of two shows for me. At the beginning of the show, you would have had a completely different Owen start this show. But as everything started to right itself and things that deserved finally starting to win, I can't say anything about TV, and I'm not going to judge television, so I don't know anything about it. I just lost points because I took shots in the dark, and I won't make that mistake. Critics' choice. Um, you got a much different Owen, and I'm a little bit happier than I was because of the incredible double shot which ended the show, and some really awesome wins sprinkled throughout. We'll ignore the garbage that happened otherwise, but that's what you guys are there to talk about. So, in a world where the Saudis are going to buy the WWE and Vince McMahon is back in control,
God damn it.
welcome to the first recap of the 2023 awards season. This is the Golden Globes. My name is Owen. Joining me as always, we have the person that I almost made spit up their drink ski, and that's Ashley.
No, this is like I didn't think you'd go straight into it like that.
Of
With
course
what?
I would.
Well, because one, we don't know, and two, we do know, but
Yes.
we don't know.
Yes. SeanRossApp.com. And we have somebody that is very glad that he started watching certain television series because now it makes more sense.
Yeah, it's a different show when you have things to root for in the TV category.
It really is.
And there was a lot of I got that prediction wrong, but I'm okay with it kind of things.
There was a couple ones I was very happy with. I was extremely happy with your Hurwitz prediction. So I hope that runs the rest of the season. That'd be great. And I was very, very, very happy to be wrong about director. And drama.
Just to put myself in a place of believing my own prediction, I managed to watch the first episode of The Bear during the red carpet, so that ended up being appropriate.
I had a great, and I do mean a great, stream for this show. Took a minute to find it, but I feel that this is probably what I'm going to use for the season this year. Didn't have any glitches, didn't have any streaming issues, didn't have any buffering issues. Weirdly enough, it was a feed from NBC in Miami.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
That's a huge bonus to find a stream with no buffering. That's skill.
God, it was great. And I just muted it when I needed to. And I took a nap and cursed out things when I needed to.
The cast of Everything Everywhere All at Once are very lovely people.
I wouldn't know. I didn't hear a word they said. And I don't care. Just don't care at all.
Even when Ke Huy Quan brought up blooming Spielberg for giving him his shot.
It never, for some reason, it didn't even occur to me Ke Huy Quan and Spielberg would be in the same room tonight. Of course they would. And then it was like, oh yeah, oh my god, of course. And I was like, oh, that's really beautiful.
So, yeah, this was an interesting show. We got chat. Guys, we appreciate you being here tonight. It's late. All of us have things to do in the morning. Jobs, movies, assorted things. I'm not trying to cut everybody off, but I'm going to have to be broski again and say keep the chat to a minimum. And it looks like Thursday's just going to be a long show. but I will keep up on chat as best I can.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's going to get mentioned like we always do. Do you want me to go through chat first and then we'll start the show, or do you want to start the show first? Talk about Discount Marlon Wayans and his opening.
Do the chat first, probably.
Yeah, especially with
Cool.
a lot of Josephine stuff seems to be not related to the ceremony.
It's okay, Josie. We appreciate you joining us. We got Josie, we got Spencer, and we've also got Julie Marshall, who I've seen pop up a couple of times in chat recently. Josie says so happy for Michelle Yeoh. My mom loved her speech too. Wouldn't know. I know the Pinocchio win for animated forks was expected, but I'm still really happy it won. I'm still waiting for it to come to a theater so I can see it, because otherwise I probably never will. Continuing TikTok of Oz, it's getting really good.
Oh.
L. Frank Baum had such an imagination. Rainbow people, fairies, dragons. Oh my. A Clockwork Man and a Love Magnet. Sounds like Effie's Big Gay Brunch.
Is this where I need to bring up the rest of the chat that you haven't seen?
That's all I've seen. I started at 9/11.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the rest of them.
How am I not seeing these things? The last thing I saw was 11/24.
Well, the first one was posted. Hey, Popcast team. Last night I watched Wan Pipel from '76, a Surinamese Dutch romantic drama film that's available to watch on YouTube. About a Surinamese man who comes home from school in Amsterdam and falls in love with the Hindu woman caring for his dying mother, as the Hindu and black communities are in conflict with one another. McDonald and Phoebe Waller-Bridge win Best Couple tonight. As inspired by Sammy Feldman, today I watched Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, and it was a great John Ford Western. Wan Pipel was the first. Pipel was the first feature film from Suriname. So happy for Tyler James Williams winning supporting actor in comedy for Abbott Elementary. This is the beginning of Kwan's sweep, and honestly deservingly so in my opinion. So happy Natu Natu won original song. Some Liberty Valance trivia. Oz Whitehead playing a teenager was actually 50. Wow. Denver Pyle played Oz Whitehead's father despite being 9 years younger. Also, wow. First occasion of John Wayne calling somebody a pilgrim. During shooting, Wayne was already suffering from his lung cancer but wasn't diagnosed until 64. According to Woody Strode, John Wayne was so hurt by John Ford's abuse that he took it out on Strode. Well, that's fuck. While filming an exterior shot on a horse-drawn cart, Wayne almost lost control of the horses and knocked Strode away when he attempted to help. When the horses did stop, Wayne tried to pick a fight with the younger and fitter Strode, and Ford said, "Don't hit him, Woody, we need him." And Strode blamed Ford for nearly all the friction on the set, and was John Ford's last film in black and white. Lee Marvin's widow Pamela said that this was her all-time favourite of all the movies her husband made. So happy for Quinta Brunson. And then today from the library I rented a collection of Japanese fairy tales and a collection of Vietnamese fairy tales. I don't know why the rest didn't show up for you, Owen, but I was amazed that they stayed on for me when I had to restart everything. So
I'm amazed that sounds like a talking about Liberty Valance, but it's like, because of the Fablemans winning, a John Ford conversation is actually very relevant.
I will finish with what I've got, and that would be Josie talking about being shocked about Argentina 1985 winning.
Yeah. All that, yeah. You're good with all the rest of it. It's just that first bit was missing for some reason on your end.
What in the hell? I'm the freaking owner of the game chat. Showing up.
It's been done.
Spencer says, "Hey guys, go ahead, what?"
It's been done. It's covered now, so we haven't missed anything.
All right, hey guys, I wanted Close from Belgium to win, but Doc is always a weird one to predict. Yeah, Spencer, tell me about it. We're talking about international, not Doc. Spencer says, "Love Austin Butler's score and screenplay wins." Yes, yes, yes. Million times, yes. Spencer watched Singles last night. My favorite Cameron Crowe movie on the rewatch. Pacific Heights for the 7th time was watched for the seventh time in a couple months. Globe wins will age the best and worst in your opinion. I think not giving Bob Odenkirk any flowers for Better Call Saul is going to be bad in the long run.
Yeah.
I won't even lie.
Related to that, I think everything Better Call Saul, because if everybody shits on season 2 of House of the Dragon, it winning here is really going to sort of stand out.
I was so happy when Game of Thrones ended, and I thought we'd be done with it when we did these.
Right.
I guess we're not. Okay. It almost feels like they went with House of the Dragon out of habit.
Probably. Spencer continues, I'm glad Ana de Armas lost for Blonde. Love her as an actress, but let's put this piece of crap movie to bed. Stupid Andrew Dominic in cinema prison for 5 years.
I'm still predicting De Armas gets the Oscar nomination, but I agree.
Spencer says Michelle Yeoh is hot. Not the biggest fan of the overrated movie, but that woman is a star in all sense of the word.
She was threatening physical violence against anybody that was playing her off was actually kind of cool.
I wouldn't know. Mr. Spielberg is a gem of a man. Good for him for winning. Yes, Spencer, freaking-lutely. Could this year be a director-picture split? No. We're not going to put that bad juju on the world. The Daniels are going to go home empty-handed like they deserve, and life will be good again.
I wasn't necessarily thinking of Daniels.
I want Spielberg to win director.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing: is I really want to enjoy this night. I want to enjoy what just happened because The Fabelmans means so much to me.
Yes.
But this is the Globes, and we've already seen the BAFTA long list, and I'm scared.
I think the BAFTA is basically just it's a roadblock.
BAFTA is
overtaken.
The thing that's really gotta happen for the Fabelmans now is, I would say more likely is Spielberg and DGA, but the other one would be a SAG Ensemble nomination.
I think that's a good bet at this point.
Because I really don't want BAFTA to reflect the Fabelmans.
No.
I want this to reflect what the Fabelmans is in this race.
BAFTA can reflect Banshees. That's about it.
Yeah.
Spencer says, I could see everything overrated getting picture. God, don't wish that on us, please, Spencer. Spielberg getting director at the Oscars. Smurfy Boy says, if Angela Bassett gets nominated and wins at SAG, the Oscar is hers. I don't agree with this, Smurfy Boy.
Dude, I've been racking my brain all night. What's even going to happen if Angela Bassett gets nominated?
Why is this happening?
I was not planning on that.
Well, no, why is this happening? You've seen the movie. You said yourself the performance is not.
She has
subpar.
She has 2 big scenes that are really good, but otherwise she's barely in it. But at the same time, I've been putting over Judd Hirsch quite a bit this season. You could say the exact same thing about, but yeah, I don't know. But the thing about it though is that Judd Hirsch is in what once was a weak category. Supporting actress has been a clusterfuck since we started.
True.
So I'm really racking my brain on if Angela Bassett's in this, who's leaving. Because I just decided recently that I was going to, when we do our next prediction video, I was going to replace Stephanie Hsu with Curtis, as weird as that is to me.
Which I already did.
But, and I was like, okay, I think I've got supporting actress under control now. And then this happened. But at the same time, Curtis wasn't in my Oscar predictions when we predicted the Globes, and I said Curtis for this because I said I could see somebody again winning the Globe that doesn't even get nominated for the Oscar. So I could keep the sentiment and still say that'll happen to Bassett, but I don't know. When you give a really good speech, that carries.
Wouldn't know.
And to be fair with the Academy, I wonder if they're doing it as a sort of make-up for what happened with Chadwick. Because you sort of
I
feel
would say that
her role is sort of channeling the essence of Chadwick, which makes sense because she being the mother figure.
what's interesting is that I could see that, and I could see them saying, like, oh, it's because Boseman didn't win. Um, Everybody that has seen the father and Ma Rainey is not mad at the Hawkins win.
No.
I would hope there's no reason. I mean, as much as in any other year with any other competition, since Delroy Lindo wasn't in the conversation for some fucked up reason, that would have gotten anybody an Oscar, that performance in Ma Rainey. But is there much to make up when it was Hopkins that he lost to? You can't. That's hard to beat for anybody. I don't know, but the Bassett thing's really throwing me off. Is the end of statement.
I just hope it ends here and then Kerry Condon just sweeps the rest of the run. That'd be great. But I don't know.
Yeah, because I was actually starting to think if Curtis had won this, that would have actually really put her in the conversation. So that didn't happen.
I would have been really worried about Kerry if she wasn't on the BAFTA list.
Yeah, and I would say Condon's got a really good shot at winning BAFTA, which will be a big push
for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's go into the award ceremony. Did you want to focus on the red carpet real quick? Just gloss over it.
The only thing really of note, I was watching the one on E that Laverne Cox was doing. The only thing that really stood out was Henry Winkler confirmed that Barry season 4 is done filming and it's being edited right now, which is extremely exciting. And Laverne Cox basically threw herself at James Cameron begging for a role. And you could tell she was immediately embarrassed afterwards, but sort of like she was as embarrassed on the red carpet as Regina Hall is going to be tomorrow when she watches the footage back. That's pretty much all of note that I saw.
You can talk about Jared Carmichael.
First of all, I'm a little disappointed that he didn't bring up the most obvious thing, which is his movie that he starred in and directed, On the Count of Three, is one of the best movies of this year and has gotten no recognition. That should have been his first joke, and it never got brought up, interestingly enough. It's very modest of him to not bring that up, because that movie is phenomenal. The Tom Cruise joke caught me off guard.
Yeah.
I thought that was headed in praise of Cruise when he started, because it was like, oh, Cruise was the one that had the balls to say, fuck you, here's your trophies back. And then he went the Scientology direction.
Yeah.
Which is, I certainly admire the balls of, that's for sure.
I feel like he read the room wrong. And the beginning of his monologue was dying a slow death. But then he finally got his bearings.
I feel like he was intentionally making them uncomfortable, just in a more subtle way than Gervais.
Yeah, I missed Ricky Gervais tonight.
He was certainly trying to be more of a sort of, think about what you're doing. Even to the Hollywood Foreign Press Association themselves, by sort of taking it out of them, like saying, I did it for the money. I don't care if you hired 7 more black people.
Yeah, because he also brought up a point that kind of saw over the whole night, which was how obvious it was that he was hired because he's black, and just how blatant that is, and how he was able to throw that in where it's also like how the producer was telling him, it's because you're talented and you have charisma, and it's like, yeah, all of that is true. but at the same time we know the reason, and I love that he worded it that way. And then that casts that whole shadow over. There were a lot of black winners tonight, and they all deserved it. I said Bassett threw me off a little bit, but the Abbott Elementary crew and everybody else absolutely deserved their wins. But it's still that thing where even though they absolutely deserved it, is it like were the Globes also thinking we need to save our reputation? We're doing this to save face rather than picking them like genuinely, even though, like I said, they completely deserve it. I was really happy, especially with the Tyler James Williams win.
It's not
based on the gardening subplot alone, I'm glad Tyler James Williams won. What were you saying?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Come to think of it, the one thing that is worth noting that I think has been different to every year since, they didn't run through the picture nominees.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody took way too long with their speeches. And that put over for Ryan Murphy took God knows how long. That was way too long.
Yeah, it was a really good speech by Ryan Murphy, especially since I'm not a Ryan Murphy fan. I almost wasn't even gonna watch that. I was just gonna go do something else, but I just stayed. And it was actually a pretty profound speech. But yeah, I wonder if it was always the plan to not run down the picture nominees, or if that's a choice they had to make mid-show.
Yes, that makes sense.
Jennifer Coolidge didn't help with her.
Oh, we lost the microphone. Yeah, I was having the thought where it was when Jennifer Coolidge was on stage and seemed kind of tipsy. It occurred to me when her category was coming up, where it was like, Jennifer Coolidge is probably going to win this category, which means this is going to take a little bit. We're going to lose more time.
And that stupid Natasha Lyonne thing that took too long.
I feel like the Natasha Lyonne thing was specifically to piss you off.
I think everybody is specifically there to piss me off.
I've got a feeling that she's going to be, well, maybe pissing a lot of people off, depending how well or not well, what they calling it? Poker face?
It looks good.
The not Knives Out project from Rian Johnson, even though it's being described practically as like Columbo.
What it needs to be is she needs to be playing herself, so it's a spinoff of Glass Onion. That's what it needs to be.
All right, let's get in the awards. I'll just tune out here. Best Supporting Actor. I hope that this isn't the start of a sweep. I'm scared that it is.
Yeah, the only thing I have to add is just what I said earlier about how I thought it was a beautiful moment that he and Spielberg were in the room together and got to see each other win.
Then we went to Supporting Actress. First off, who set the order of this? Because for the people that don't give a damn about the TV categories, we have to wait forever for the movie awards. And the people that don't give a damn about the movie awards have to wait forever for the TV awards. No one wins.
Since supporting for a miniseries was a new category, it didn't happen until close to the end. I was starting to get afraid that they forgot they had a new category.
It said at the start some of this was pre-recorded, so I'm like, oh god, have they Oscared this? Have some of these actually already been handed out?
It was literally just the drone shot of the building that was pre-recorded.
Best Supporting Actress was up next. It's the only performance I haven't seen in this entire lineup, but I don't care. So,
you know, I already covered it. I just have no idea what it does to the Supporting Actress race because I was not expecting it.
Hopefully nothing, but we'll see.
Yeah, because she's great in those two big scenes, but that's a tough category this year.
Smurfy boy asks who's winning SAG and Critics' Choice, Yo or Blanchett. Can there be another option?
I think it's gonna ultimately be Blanche, or I think it's ultimately gonna be Yo, but I could see it being Yo wins Critics' Choice and SAG, and Blanchett wins BAFTA, and it'll be a race that ultimately ends in Yo, is what I'm gonna guess right now.
Can Michelle Williams win one thing this season, please?
Well, I would say third place is somebody that wasn't even here tonight, which is Deadweiler.
I would like if she was even in the race, but it doesn't seem like it is at this point.
Yeah, at least she made the BAFTA long list. That's a good start.
Yeah.
And surely to God she would make SAG tomorrow, I would hope.
God, it'd be great if she won BAFTA out of nowhere. That'd be wonderful. I'd love that.
Yeah, winning BAFTA out of nowhere is a very good sign lately on Oscar night.
We talked about Tyler James Williams winning for Best Supporting Actor in a TV series, comedy, or drama.
Good to see.
Speaking of good to see, AJ gets the point here for Justin Hurwitz winning for Babylon for score.
Still have no recollection really of Babylon's score, but I know everybody loves it.
Want this to be a sweep? That'd be nice.
And even Williams is what, 91 now, and he was even there. I don't know that I could, like, props to Justin Hurwitz for going on stage and giving a coherent speech, because if I beat 91-year-old John Williams to his face, I would be really uncomfortable. I would leave the building.
I'll just pick the trophy and just walk off without giving a speech. Just say thanks.
Best original song went to Natu Natu. Because reasons.
They didn't go,
which makes foreign even weirder.
They didn't go with the big names.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want Rihanna to win anything, and I really wish Gaga would have won. That would have been nice, but it's clear they didn't want to do anything with Top Gun for whatever reason.
Oh, one reason's clear, even though they still nominated the movie and the song.
Best actor in a TV series, musical, or comedy went to Jeremy Allen White for The Bear.
Yeah, the bear is interesting because I only watched that first episode. It's basically, remember Boiling Point with Stephen Graham from a year or two ago?
Mm-hmm.
It's basically Boiling Point with cuts. It's very intense. I'm kind of surprised it's considered a comedy.
Doesn't it take place in a Chicago sandwich shop?
I don't know if I caught the city, but that sounds right. It's definitely a sandwich shop.
Well, Bear, Chicago.
It sounded like his sister called him Bear as a nickname, which I'm assuming comes more into it. He also has a dream sequence in the opening scene about a bear, which could be anything. Like I said, I was watching it simultaneously with the red carpet, so it was.
We go next to Best Actress in a TV series, musical, or comedy. Quinta Brunson wins for Abbott Elementary.
Yeah, it was always going to be her or Ortega, pretty much, and neither one would have been a surprise. And once again, very, very well deserved. Either one would have been very well deserved. And you picked Selena Gomez.
I did.
And I kind of scoffed at you. I only have 2 episodes left now of Rolling Murders in the Building, and there is a universe where she could have won because her character is really going in some interesting directions. But it does feel like this was probably a 2-person race, I think.
Well, and we go from a 2-person race to a 1. Colin Farrell winning Best Actor, musical, or comedy, to the shock of
I love all the press he's giving Jenny the Donkey, by the way.
Hell yeah. Who's apparently in retirement.
Still want to see that donkey come out on the Oscar stage. Retirement or not. Best actress, musical, or comedy. I don't even need to say it, and then you can talk.
Her just saying straight up "shut up" to the piano player is our main takeaway.
I will
And yeah,
hurt you.
somebody
I know that shit.
and somebody in the chat already mentioned that Michelle Yeoh is still hot at nearly 60, and that's absolutely true.
Okay.
The
Best
one-
animated feature goes to Pinocchio.
The one thing I appreciate about her thing though is how racially abused she was when she came over 30 something years ago. Like they were saying, "Oh, you
Yeah.
speak English," and the line, "I had 13 hours on the flight over. I learned quick."
Yeah.
Fair point. Oh, and
Continuing.
Del Toro's always brilliant in terms of anything, because he just loves cinema. Why can't we have him
Yeah.
rather than Nicole Kidman at AMC telling you to love cinema? Because then I believe it. I guess it'd be over and over here, but still the same thing.
You haven't seen it as much as I have. I believe every single word she says.
The biggest
Every
thing that
single-
happened tonight is fucking Paul Giamatti as Albert Einstein on
Giamatti is
Verizon
Albert Einstein.
commercials. What the shit is
That
this?
is one of
This is the darkest timeline.
Well, it's a continuation of his Scrooge commercials from a couple of months ago, or last month, I guess.
what's a commercial? What's a TV show? This is the first time I've watched any broadcast television in a long time. Because I watch AEW on the Fight TV feed.
Yeah, the only thing I'll really say is, even though we got 1 billion of them during the Shape of Water season, I forgot how much I loved Guillermo del Toro award speech.
I feel we're gonna get a lot more.
Speaking of something that I really hope continues, more Tarantino love. It's kind of like didn't realize what was going to happen later in the night, but it would have been foreshadowing if it had been flip-skied. Austin Butler wins for Best Actor in a Drama.
Dude,
Life is good.
like over half the cast of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was in that room.
Yeah, they were.
And three of them were sitting together.
So he's got to beat Farrell at this point.
Well, it remains. I feel like Fraser could win next Sunday.
I feel that Fraser might have puttered out.
I feel like
I think SAG is gonna keep him in the race.
SAG's going to be a really interesting race.
I think Zach might be where Farrell wins.
Yeah, all three of them could win SAG.
Because I could see Butler winning Critics' Choice.
Then we have to never doubt Bill Nye at BAFTA to shake things up.
Or we have Farrell win, and then he solidified himself as the winner. Smurfy Boy says, do you think the reason Butler won because Fraser refused to show up, or did they just liked his performance better? It's clear they liked Elvis, Smurfy Boy. Clear.
It was one of those things. Like I said, this was a weird night because most of the wins really felt deserved, while also you could also imagine them doing it for separate reasons. Like all the wins kind of had that feel.
Yeah. We move on. Best Actress in a Drama TV Series, Zendaya wins. Life is Good.
Really glad I didn't change to the Middle Staunton.
She's actually Michi.
Someone for the Crown actually didn't win something for a change. Blew my mind.
Yeah.
Best Supporting Actress in a TV Series, Musical, Drama, or Comedy. Too many words. Julia Garner wins for Ozark.
I was
surprised.
Yeah, after watching the show, and I didn't know this until they mentioned it on the red carpet. Apparently, Sheryl Lee Ralph gave a speech at the Emmys that brought the house down.
Oh yeah.
So I was literally thinking, I wish I could go back in time right now and change this to Ralph instead of Garner. And luckily, I don't own a time machine.
Well, it's funny because that thing we always talk about every year, and it sometimes is proven to be true and sometimes isn't, is the fact that the Abbott Elementary actresses canceled each other out.
Yeah, it seemed like that was happening most of the night.
People are tired of the Crown. No one cares about Hacks anymore. So, hey, Ozark. There you go.
Did the only person that won while they were doubled up with somebody Coolidge?
Yeah, looks like. Have we figured out the fifth nominee and actor? Well, I would say Bill Nye at this point, but I don't know.
Bill Nye's fourth, dude.
I don't see that.
Well, Ryan Murphy is now really trying to push Jeremy Pope, obviously.
That's not going to.
The Paul Mescal thing feels like it's still here.
Mescal's a possibility for sure.
And I would love to see the Cruise thing, but I've never believed it.
I say Butler, Fraser, Farrell, Cruz, and then we've got a fifth. I got to believe in Cruz for you since you can't.
Yeah, I mean, he made the BAFTA shortlist, which is big.
That's a big deal.
Did very good BAFTA shortlist wise, which makes me very happy.
Murphy boy, I think we'll get more information. We'll get more thought tomorrow with SAG.
Yeah.
Thursday's gonna be a long show, so strap in. It's gonna be a fun show. You want to talk about this Ryan Murphy put over? I say Ryan Murphy put over by Billy Porter way too long. So continue. If you want to leave your comments about that.
For 20 years in the business and sort of delivering relatively consistent hits over those 20 years. Because you had what? Nip Tuck probably 2003 to like 2010. Which
Yeah.
sort of tied into Glee, which
Glee's
tied
trash.
into American Horror Story.
It-
And then
had
you've
its
obviously
small-
got all the American Story spin-offs, including like Love Story and Sports Story that are apparently in development right now. And then you've got his other sort of side projects. But then he also
I've never.
Ray Love. Fuck him.
Well, here's the problem. You give Ryan Murphy 12 hours, you give Eddie Murphy 12 seconds. That angered me.
I think Eddie Murphy only wanted 12 seconds.
Yeah, but he needed a little bit more, even the video packet. I will say, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but seeing Thomas Jefferson Johnson from The Distinguished Gentleman made me so happy. And I feel like I'm one of the only people that picked up on that when I saw that smile. I was like, that's The Distinguished Gentleman. Yeah, it freaking is. No Starship Dave Ming Chang, no 1,000 words, but
Mr. Church made it.
yeah, it did. So did Norbit many times.
Yeah, my thing with Ryan Murphy is I would not consider myself a Ryan Murphy fan, but I remember liking The Normal Heart and the People vs. O.J. Simpson and like the first season of American Horror Story. And everything else I've either not watched or not been a fan of. But I didn't realize till that montage how widespread he was. I didn't know Halston was his. And there's a lot of stuff. I didn't realize how widespread he was and how many people he influenced or was influenced by. So that was informative. But yeah.
So best actress in a drama could have been Inspired with Viola Davis getting the win. That would have been great. Could have been 3 wins for The Fabelmans, which would have shocked a lot of people. Even me, who actually went for it. But they went for Old Obvious, so I hate to say this, but I don't think she has competition.
I can't really say much because we're doing our lineup. We're doing our lineup soon, like really soon.
Yeah, I think the aim is.
But I'm fine with Blanchett winning a lot.
No, I am fine with Coleman not winning.
It'll be
but the
interesting
BAFTA
to
love
see.
for Empire of Light scares me.
It'll be
greatly.
interesting to see if Deadweiler actually gets like key wins in critics and SAG, which means she's more of a player than is letting on, because despite
I'd
the fact
like
they
that.
wanted to appreciate diversity in a lot of other ways through the Globes, they really didn't. Despite like the fact that Deadweiler makes the list for BAFTA, despite everything, I think means that there's clearly something there.
All right, we
Really?
continue.
By the way, worth noting, well, because I brought this up when we were predicting too, when you were talking about going all in on diversity yet somehow missing Deadweiler. I didn't watch it, but when I on YouTube I saw the link for the live stream from the Golden Globes themselves for the red carpet, and there were like 3 people on the thumbnail, and one of the people on the thumbnail was Janelle Monáe. It's like, oh, well, go fuck yourself.
So speaking of that, best non-English language film, Argentina. Okay.
No comment.
Screenplay went to Mark McDonough.
Yes.
Great and just world we live in.
And bringing up how the donkey was a woman and said too soon.
News. It needs to. If we got McDonough winning screenplay and Spielberg winning director, I'm a happy guy.
Yeah.
I'm very happy, actually.
That's definitely one thing I want to bring up tomorrow. The WGA snubs, because it's a bloodbath. It's officially gonna make the Oscars really up in the air.
Nah, because WGA doesn't always matter because of the fact that there's so many rules that mean things that are players.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Not
I'm saying the entire list for WGA for, I can't remember if it was adapted or original or both, might be made up of nothing that actually gets in at the Oscar, or nothing that gets in at the Oscars.
All right, speaking of things I was very happy to be wrong about, Spielberg wins for The Fablemans. Again, great and just world we live in. Supporting actor in a TV anthology, whatever, who cares. Paul Walter Hauser wins for Blackbird.
That's one I was really happy to
Wrong about.
lose prediction wise, and I already love Paul Walter Hauser anyway. But when he said it's like a wax museum with a pulse, and then winked at Tarantino, is like that he is the great. Paul Walter Hauser is the best human being on earth now. I will follow him to my grave.
I'm surprised Owen hasn't brought up the best bit of that speech. Or were you not paying attention?
Oh, the fact where he said, "Get the tables."
Yeah, right at the end, I was
Yeah.
like, "Hey, he dubbed WWE because he shows up to all of them." Yeah.
He does. That's not an incorrect statement. Best supporting actress went to the drunk on herself, Jennifer Coolidge. I like Jennifer Coolidge, but she was, dear God.
Yeah. By the way, I've only watched the first episode of season 2 so far, so I know something now that I shouldn't.
Yeah, I was gonna.
I know that's. I know that's. I guess that's on me. I guess.
Amanda Seyfried wins for The Dropout and Best Actress.
That was a random guess on my part.
The big thing with that, with everybody was going on is the whole working on a musical thing. So everybody's going, "Is this Mamma Mia 3?"
That would be great. Best Actor in the anthology limited TV film, Evan Peters and his Ethan Page glasses. I'm not wrong. The White Lotus wins TV.
Which I appreciate. That brings up the catering issue that we have at the Globes. They arrived and they said, "We have no food," so he just got drunk off his fucking ass. How is it so hard to produce that many vol-au-vents?
The only thing, the tent, and it would have been the Spirit Awards.
At least we didn't get a recreation of Triangle of Sadness.
Jesus Christ. Don't put that idea.
That's what's happening right now.
What the cleaners humping Brad Pitt?
Apparently, everybody's humping Brad Pitt.
Nice put over for Eddie Murphy from Tracy Morgan and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes.
I wish it would have been longer.
It was kind of weird how uncomfortable he looked.
He doesn't like to get accolades, it seems like. He doesn't seem like the type of person that likes to be acknowledged for what he does.
Yeah, he's made it clear a lot now that he definitely prefers to be a homebody these days.
The only bit I didn't get from Tracy's bit is the Walmart truck thing.
The Walmart truck that put him in a coma.
Oh, right. I figured it was something to do with that, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it was a Walmart truck he got hit by.
Speaking of proverbial Walmart trucks hitting people, Bob Odenkirk goes 0 for everything for Better Call Saul. And Zombie Sailor's best friend Kevin Costner wins Best Actor in a Drama.
Who can't
TV.
be there because Roland Emmerich is sending God knows what to him.
I assume the joke's already been brought up that there is a running joke with Saul Goodman that he once got away with impersonating Kevin Costner. Is a joke throughout Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. So it's like, did Saul Goodman still win? We don't know.
Abbott Elementary wins comedy, and for some reason, these Game of Thrones shows still do well. Also, the Dragon drama.
Well, worth noting, during the Abbott Elementary speech, Gwenda Brunson called out Bob Odenkirk and put over Mr. Show.
I did appreciate that. I tuned out. I was already done by that time, but I did appreciate the Mr. Show put over. And then the double shot that ended the night right.
Yeah.
Banshees wins Best Comedy, and The Fabelmans wins Best Drama.
I said I want to be happy through the roof right now, but BAFTA's really pulling the reins. But I'm gonna try to be happy for The Fabelmans right now because I absolutely am. But we'll see how The Fabelmans goes for the rest of the season.
I think that BAFTA was just kind of a, like I said, I feel like it's kind of a small roadblock that I feel that the movie is strong enough to overcome.
Yeah, because it's still made the picture list at BAFTA.
Right.
And Williams, I believe, is still in BAFTA.
Yes.
But I'm just...
Keep in mind as well, the BAFTA long list is purposefully 10 men and 10 women directors. So there's parity on that front.
True.
The problem being, when you've got stuff anyway that's possibly in, pushing for that sort of spot in Woman King and After Sun and Women Talking and all that, it's not like they're sort of in there for the sake of it. There's ones that could, at least in BAFTA terms, push into, I think it's 6, where again I think they try and make it 3 men and 3 women. So in that respect, maybe that's why Spielberg missed out, what with Banshees, Elvis, and Everything Everywhere, and maybe Top Gun, All Quiet on the Western Front, all being in.
I think Kaczynski made it for Top Gun, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. There's a chance there as well.
Yes.
I think that's your show.
So in terms of scores on the doors, if I can get it up, there we go. All in all, Owen, you have 10.
Yep.
I have 11, and AJ leads the way with 15. Weirdly, AJ was better on TV than film.
That's new.
Yeah.
I think.
If it was just on film, I'd be on 6 and both you guys would be on 7. And it was TV that
Correct.
really
I,
split it. Owen had 3, I had 5, and you had 8, AJ.
I see this as a big upgrade because I feel like I barely break 2 digits at the Globes usually. The Globes is usually my worst by far.
Don't think it was because last year you built that lead that nobody really could catch up on from the Globes. It sort of started then. But it makes me wonder how much of this will stick with some of the people in terms of stuff, and how much of this will fade away on the film stuff.
Yeah, because isn't Critics' Choice just a week from today?
Not even that. It's Sunday.
Oh shit! Yeah, this isn't Sunday.
Thanks, NFL and college football, especially the college football. You could have put it on. That was like 65-7. It was that one-sided. People have been wanting to watch something else anyway. You could have had the Globes on.
Question for Owen before we leave.
Okay.
Even though we are doing lineups, do I still do a top 10 video by itself?
Yes.
All right. I think I pretty much have that.
Anything that gets us more content at this point. We're still in October. So
There's probably not going to be a worst of, because I can't negative energy right now, but but I can do a top 10.
In terms of what we've got coming up, tomorrow is EGA and SAG,
Jesus.
and then the film, an animated feature film for PGA, will get announced on Thursday. But we won't be discussing them in sort of any video until after the WGAs come out, which is in a couple of weeks.
I've just been having this feeling that SAG and DGA are going to rain a shitstorm on us. Like this is the calm before the storm right now. Because remember, SAG lost their fucking minds last year. So.
And then in terms of actual ceremonies, although we don't cover it, I'll be keeping an eye on it. The Satellite Awards are happening on the Saturday. After they've now moved back to where they should do, like towards the start of the season, rather than like 3 weeks after, so nobody gives a shit about it. And that's the day before the Critics' Choice, which we will be covering and doing a show on Sunday for. BAFTA is doing its nominations basically a week tomorrow. Well, yeah, if you're on the East Coast, a week tomorrow, Thursday the 19th. And then I think a few of the other guilds have still got to do their stuff. Yeah, VFX, makeup and hair is tomorrow, costume is Thursday, and yeah, the others for a week or so.
Real quick, Owen, I got to get your opinion on the Batman making the Cinematography Guild.
Like it should.
And Elvis. Cinematography Guild took some swings.
Yeah.
I don't think movies that I like are out of this race yet.
Roger Deakins is in there for some reason.
Elvis is climbing a lot. Elvis is really climbing.
And then a random
Elvis is not top
Lombardo.
5. Is almost top 5 right now.
So going back to our previous question, that's making Butler look a lot better than Fraser on that front, because the Whale itself, Fraser's been single-handedly carrying the Whale.
Women Talking is going to have to start performing tomorrow.
Yeah. If Women Talking doesn't perform tomorrow, because like we were saying, the SAG nominations are late enough now that nothing should be late to the party like there usually is.
No. That's your show. Thank you, live chat, for joining us tonight. Ashley can be found on Twitter at @Ashley'sMyNameUK. AJ cannot be found on social media, and also, like Keith Richards, cannot be killed by conventional weapons. And lots of content coming on the network. If you want to follow me for all the pertinent information about award season and the podcasts that are coming out of it, at Sir Owen Disney on Twitter. That being said, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching. And until Thursday, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.